Hello, and welcome to the third part of week 2. I thought maybe for this section we're just going to create a benchmark asset, just something we can put in the scene, nothing too crazy, uh, just something we can get done fairly quickly. That way we can have a fully textured prop in the scene and sort of helps you get an idea of the sort of quality level you want to achieve. It's also nice to get a small win, as I like to call them. Sometimes when you're working on environments, you're working on these huge pieces, and you're working on for so long, you feel kind of demotivated. Sometimes I like to switch off those and just go and make some easier, smaller props, so that because you can get them done in maybe a day or so, and that sort of gets your sort of brings your motivation back. Sometimes it's easy to lose motivation when you're doing these types of environments. So I just thought we'd maybe start off with the pretty iconic uh, first aid spray. I thought that's a pretty cool asset to make, nice and simple. Can show you some UV techniques and I will go some texturing techniques as well. And with that, we'll some texturing techniques, and then we'll bring it into the engine, and we'll see what it looks like. So we'll just start off and create a simple cylinder. I'll change the height baseline here, and just adjust some of these radius and height. So I've also brought in my scale model here, and we can just see where how we want it to be, how we want it to look like, its size and its width and stuff. That's a bit too big. Something that fits in his hand. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, it doesn't seem too bad. For the poly count, I do want to go high because I feel like modern game engines they can take meshes with higher poly counts, and especially with the likes of Nanite, having a spray can with a couple of thousand tries isn't it's not going to be the end of the world. So I feel like I'd rather have the nice cylindrical shape the way this guy has. I feel like when you make it too low poly, you sort of lose the silhouette. You can see the jagged edges. We don't want that. We just want nice, clean assets. So we'll just maybe just bump this up to. I like to work in powers of 8. Let's bump this up to 40. So it's nice and smooth. All right. Well, it shouldn't be too complicated to make. I'll just take off this checker texture. I like to work with the wireframe on, which is pretty nice. Okay, so just gonna hit tab, select these. Sort of comes in here with them. So we'll just shift scale inwards, bring it up, and do the same again, like that. Try and bring it out to where it started. Spacebar to go back in. Shift. Hold shift and click to bring it up. Extrude that up. That seems about right. And then same again, just holding shift, scale it inwards. This is I don't know exactly where your modeling skills are at, but this should be straightforward enough for you. But if not, if you feel like you need to ask questions or you need some advice, then just always feel free to ask. What I'm doing here is, instead of having to click on extrude and then scale in, you can just hold in shift with any of the transform to like extrude them sort of manually. It just saves a bit of time, really. So okay, we'll just get back on track here. So I'm hitting tab here, so you click on a face, or you can do it with an edge or a vertex. if you click on a face and hold in tab, sort of creates this like paint, or like you can sort of click. You'll just hold in left click and just follow around the circle. You can just select all the edges pretty easily. So we're just going to bring this up. This sort of curves a bit, so I'm just going to scale this in. Select this edges, go to modeling, go to connect. Maybe give this 3 edge loops. Just going to select all these. Scale them out to get that curve. And this goes in a bit further. Again, just select all these, scale inwards again, maybe about here. Doesn't look too bad. We can just fix it after. Right, and then we're just going to extrude up again. Saying get these sort of simple assets can. It's a nice way to just get modeling pretty quickly. If you can make it all one mesh, then even better. This is quite lucky with this one because it's quite cylindrical, so you don't really have to worry about making separate meshes or anything, which is completely fine. One of the things I was taught in college is that it had to be everything had to be one mesh, which stressed me out because I didn't know how to. I was so confused about how to make things like a square from a circle. You don't have to do that. It's not often the case in games, you know. These complex meshes will be made up of loads of different parts, so you don't ever worry about that. Right, and just drag this in, I guess. Okay. So there's our basic shape done. Actually, I have to down the bottom bit here as well. So it's just the bottom bit is just the same as the top bit. So we're just gonna scale in, pull it down, and then scale again. Whoops. Scale again, pull down. Maybe try and make sure these are equal. If you hit spacebar, you can see the different angles. You can use the wireframe button here to see through. That down. Doesn't seem quite right. Just do that. Right. Very nice. So what I'm doing here is I'm switching between smooth shaded. So what this is what the model will look like once it's been subdivided. So what we want to do, and this is sort of bridging on like sort of hard surface modeling, is that we want to give the edges support loops. And what support loops will do is that they'll hold that edge, and so if we look at it right now, it's quite smooth and looks quite wrong. But if we select these edges, and then if we hit bevel, and then if instead of your normal bevel, if we click on chamfer, take that off, you sort of give it a new type of bevel. And we can click this to change the speed at which you want to bevel. So you can do quite slow bevels here. If you click on this, they go really fast. It's quite hard to get the finesse, but if we click on kind of like Cheese Wheel or Pac-Man or something, click on this one, the first angle, we can do it very slow. So we just want to bring this out, maybe just make it 250, let's just say. Now that these edges have support edges, when we hit 3 to smooth it, it looks nice. It looks nice like the can. Yeah, you can see the nice and smooth edges here. So we're going to want to repeat that for other edges. So grab this edge, this edge, this edge. Pretty much all the sort of hard edges you see where you would want it to look crisp. Let's see, under here. I'll leave that for now. This edge, this edge, this edge. If I can select it, my mouse is being weird. This edge, this edge, this edge, this edge, and this edge. And again, same idea. Oh, we missed an edge. Same idea. Bevel, click on chamfer. See, there might be a bit of an issue here actually. That's what happens when it's sort of small edges, but if we just, right, this might work. Yeah, we forgot one here, so we'll just maybe take this one step at a time, because if we do too much, it can sort of X up sometimes, because Maya can be weird. So we'll just take these ones first. Take this edge, this edge, this edge, this edge, this edge, and this edge, and this edge. Start with these ones first. Again, click your shear choppers on off, and just bring this in. Maybe give it 3 segments, because then it really locks in, and it gives a really nice sharp edge. That's perfect. Alright, we'll just bring this up here. Maybe we'll bring this lip out a wee tiny bit, scale this out a wee bit. Scale this in. So that the bevel has more room to actually work. Right, and do this again. 3 segments. 3 segments may not work because actually it has to be a certain fraction because it's quite a small area. So we'll just go back to 1 and just drag this. The closer these support lines are, the sort of tighter the edge will be. So just, this is sort of freaking out on me. So I'll just keep it here. And so when we smooth, when we hit 3, this still looks pretty good. So just a sort of vast area to work on now. Let's grab this edge. Oh, that's messing up. Camera's zooming out too fast. This edge, this edge, this edge, this edge, and this one here. Chamfer, same thing again. Now if we look at the model, it looks, so this is what it looks like without the smoothing on. And if we had 3, you can see that it looks nice and crisp. Exactly like our render. Maybe we want to make this section bigger. This nozzle type area. I've messed this up a bit. It shouldn't be too hard to fix. Just grab all these faces. They're not planar, so they're not all the same. They're not all flat. Just grab all this and do that. That shouldn't be too bad. Half the time when you're 3D modeling, it's just problem solving. There we go. So again, grab this edge, bevel it, turn chamfer off. Try and bring that as tight as possible. Nice. So that looks pretty good. What I like to do is turn on ambient occlusion and anti-aliasing to give to make it nice and crisp. Oh yeah, we're actually missing one tiny bit here. If we go ahead and grab another cylinder, just rotate it, scale it down. Forgot the little bit where the spray actually comes out. Let's put this in the center, turn the wireframe. I like to match it up with the wireframe so that these two middle lines actually meet up. There we go. Scale that. It's very small, you probably wouldn't even really notice that much detail on it anyway, but we are creating our own portfolio piece, so we do want it to have a nice detail. Scale in, extrude in. If you click Alt H, you can hide everything except for the object you're clicked on, which is really useful. So just gonna grab this edge, this edge, this edge, and this edge. Click on bevel, chamfer. This is acting up a bit because the model's really small. So it's just normally it works if you just do it one piece at a time. Well, it's not working, so we just do this instead. We can use the multi-cut tool. Click on our mesh and just hit control. If you hold in control, you can just see the edge loops. So we're just going to put an edge loop here, an edge loop here, edge loop this side, and then this side. And you're going to want an edge loop in here, so we're just going to grab these and then just extrude inwards. So we have that starting edge loop and then put an edge loop here. It's a multi-cut tool. It's very useful for hard surface antics. So we're just doing bevel this edge, chamfer off, make the lines closest you can, and then we just manually push bring them forward. Although this won't matter as much because it's on the side, you won't even see. There you go, nice and smooth. And if you want to show everything that you hid the last time, just hit Control Shift H. That'll bring back everything that you've hid. So that actually doesn't look too bad for a quick model. Alt and H again to hide that. Let's make this full screen. Alright, not too shabby. Maybe we can adjust the curves on this a bit better. So it looks more curved. Alright. That's actually not too shabby indeed. Perfect. So we have the mesh for our first aid spray. What you might get here when you extrude manually is you might get these faces, and that could be annoying. So what you want to do to get rid of this is just find all the faces where the edges are hard. These should do the trick, and then you're going to go to mesh display, soften edge, and that should get rid of your hard faces. That normally only happens when you extrude manually and not using the extrude tool, or at least in my experience anyway. So okay, so there we have it. We have our nice smoothed first aid spray that we're going to use as our benchmark asset. The next part of this video, I will start the UV map, and then after that we'll bring it into Substance Painter to texture.